Suddenly, everyone in Mattoon was on high alert, and within days, more reports started flooding in. Other victims reported similar experiences. One woman said she woke up to the smell and felt her mouth go numb, then her throat, then the rest of her body. A man said he saw a cloth being pressed against the bedroom window and immediately felt dizzy and weak. The descriptions were remarkably consistent, which at the time seemed like proof that something real was happening. And the symptoms were all the same too: a sweet smell, nausea, paralysis, difficulty breathing. Some people reported seeing a tall figure in dark clothing running away from their homes. People all over town claimed they were being attacked by a man dubbed Mad Gasser, who was spraying some kind of paralyzing gas through their windows at night. The investigation was thorough. Police dusted for fingerprints at every reported attack site. They analyzed cloth samples from windows where the gas was supposedly sprayed. They interviewed dozens of witnesses and took statements from every victim. Even the FBI got involved. And yet, there was nothing. No chemical residue. No physical evidence of any intruder who was tall and wearing dark clothes. Still, the reports kept coming. At the peak of panic, there were multiple attacks reported every single night. The town was in a frenzy. People were scared to sleep with their windows open. Some families left town entirely. Armed vigilante groups patrolled the streets at night looking for the Mad Gasser. Newspapers ran increasingly sensational headlines which only made residents more worried. Each article included detailed descriptions of the attacks and speculation about the Gasser's identity. Was it a mad scientist? An escaped mental patient? But slowly, officials started to realize something. This might not be a real attacker at all. The police chief eventually put out a statement suggesting the attacks were likely imaginary, a case of mass hysteria fueled by wartime anxiety and media coverage. And you know what happened when he said that? People got mad, really mad. The community accused the police of not taking them seriously and of covering up the truth. How dare they suggest this wasn't real? People were experiencing symptoms. They saw the attacker with their own eyes. But the thing is, mass hysteria doesn't mean people are lying or making things up. It means that their brains are genuinely creating physical symptoms in response to fear and suggestion. Think about it. Everyone in Mattoon was already stressed out about the war. Then they hear about a mysterious gas attack in their town. Suddenly, they're hyper aware of every strange smell, every weird feeling in their body. You know, that does make sense. Because, sometimes you get a little sick and you're like, am I dying? And then you're like, my neck hurts a little bit, probably because you slept weird. It's like you have a brain tumor and suddenly, you feel like you're dying. Someone sees a shadow outside their window. Is it a prowler or is it just a neighbor being a little creepy? When you're that on edge, your brain can fill in the blanks. And when everyone around you is experiencing the same thing, it reinforces the belief that it's real. But it turns out the police chief might have been onto something. Because once the theory of mass hysteria was floated, the attacks just stopped. By late September, less than a month after the first attack, there were no more reports of the Mad Gasser, as if breaking the collective belief was all it took to make him vanish. Did the police pop the balloon and snap the town out of their trance? Maybe. But to this day, some people in Mattoon insist the Mad Gasser was real. But most historians and psychologists agree that it was a textbook case of mass psychogenic illness. In the aftermath, some residents were embarrassed. Others remained convinced that the Mad Gasser was real and the police had simply failed to catch him. A few even claimed to have seen the Gasser again in later years. The case became a cautionary tale in psychology textbooks, an example of how fear, suggestion, and media coverage can create a shared delusion that feels absolutely real to those experiencing it. And there are lots of other examples of this throughout history. In 1962, dozens of workers at a factory in South Carolina suddenly developed mysterious symptoms: nausea, dizziness, and fainting. Investigations found no toxins or contaminants. It was mass hysteria triggered by workplace stress. In 2011, more than a dozen teenage girls in Leroy, New York, started experiencing weird tics, sudden outbursts, and seizure-like symptoms that spread throughout their friend group at school. At first, environmental factors were blamed, but eventually doctors figured out that it was mass psychogenic illness. And of course, there's the Salem witch trials. In 1692, a group of girls in Massachusetts started having fits. Convulsions, weird visions, wild outbursts. The Puritan community immediately blamed witchcraft, and the girls started pointing fingers. The accusations snowballed fast, fueled by everyone's fears about the devil and sin. By the time it was over, 20 people were dead and over 200 had been accused. Today, most scholars agree it was mass psychogenic illness, real symptoms but no actual witches. Another community wound so tight with fear and stress that they needed someone to blame for their problems. In Midsommar, the visitors to the Harga experienced something similar. They're isolated, drugged, and surrounded by people who all believe the same things. A stressed pressure cooker. That's when reality starts to blur. What's real? What's ritual? What's just in their heads? By the end, Dani genuinely believes she's found her true family in this Swedish death cult. Her sense of self had been completely warped by the group. That's the terrifying thing about mass hysteria and groupthink. Your brain can be convinced of almost anything when everyone around you believes it too. Whether it's Frau Trophea dancing in 1518, the people of Mattoon fleeing from a phantom in 1944, or a Swedish folktale about selling your soul to keep the party going, they're all about the same fear. The fear of losing control, of being swept up in something bigger than yourself, of the group overriding your individual will. Midsommar understands this fear perfectly. It shows how easy it is to get pulled into a collective delusion when you're vulnerable, isolated, and desperate to belong. Dani starts the movie broken and alone. She ends up crowned as the May Queen, smiling as her boyfriend burns alive, completely absorbed into the Harga's commune's twisted worldview. She's lost herself entirely. But that's what's really scary about how happy she looks. Like staying in this delusion is better than dealing with the real world. If you're brave enough, subscribe now. Just search for @CrimeHouse Studios on YouTube. And remember, reality is the real horror.